We're going to keep it simple, and we're going to teach people the basics of what they need to understand within direct marketing. And so we're going to tag team back and forth and really cover this, guys. And I'm telling you, if you get this and really plug into this, you don't have to look left. You don't have to look right. All you got to do is Google who Steve Carter is. Google who Pastor Carter is. I'm starting to get a little name for myself. I think you can Google me now. Well, my point is, if you can do a thing, you can teach a thing, yes? And we've given away multiple BMWs now. We've just gotten started. To see Springfield like this is just another testimony that our system works. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about a system. What kind of system do you want? Raise your hand if you've ever been to McDonald's. Dang, Steve. Okay, we're going to have to give y'all another lesson on that one later. But for the purpose of this training, how many of you guys agree that when you go into McDonald's, they pretty much look the same? The fries are always on the what? Left. Did you guys realize that just because you want to get sophisticated, you can't own a McDonald's and say, you know what, I want my fries on the right? The way my people like their fries, they like to get them from the right side of the store. You know you can't change stuff with McDonald's because they have a system, right? And do you all realize that a teenager can be a general manager of a McDonald's? Because they have a blueprint, because they teach them what they need to know. The problem is, for most people, they're not looking for a system, they're looking to be entertained. Because the system, when you follow it, it's boring. I mean, it's so boring. I mean, I'm telling you, I've done the same thing for 5.5 years. It's boring. But does it work? Yes. Most people want to be entertained, so they want to change things. New, never heard before training. Well, if I never heard it, I don't want it. If no one's ever heard it, how do you know if it works? Does that make sense? I want McDonald's system. So, you want a system-dependent system rather than a people-dependent system. It's a way of doing things in order to compensate for the disparity between the skills your people have and the skills your business needs. It should never be about you. Does that make sense? We're more excited about the up-and-coming wave of leaders. We're not excited about running around touting how successful we are because we're successful based on how successful the system is. So if we decide that we want to kind of stop, we don't want the business to stop just because we decided. How many guys ever been to church somewhere? And then the pastor says he's not coming one Sunday, and then that next Sunday, half the congregation is not there? You don't want a business like that. You want a business where people are, engaged with the system, not into one person, okay? Now, the system runs the business. We got to learn the system. We got to run the system. And we got to be non-negotiable in terms of the system because it integrates all elements required to make a business work. But how many guys see that it leaves little operating discretion? That means don't change it. Does that make sense? Everybody say don't change it. Don't change it. Just do it. And watch the magic happen. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's set the stage. How do you avoid the NFL? Well, in this thing, you want to avoid no friends left. Right? How many guys feel like you've been chasing people? They don't call you back. They're mad. I've never had anyone become upset with me about my involvement in 5 links. I've never had anybody run from me about 5 links. It's because I don't chase people. Now, the reason why most people chase people is because you want it more for them than they do for themselves. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? And I found in my time that most people don't want to participate in their own rescue. You throw them a life jacket, they throw it back. They say, come get me in a boat. I deserve to be picked up in a boat. You find a boat, you drive out there to come get them, they tell you go back. Things have changed. I need a helicopter. You find a helicopter, you get out there, they say, no, I deserve more. I need a yacht. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? They will always come up with a reason to fail. Then you look up and then they say, well, why did you let them drown? Look, I gave them a whole lot of options. They didn't want any. Everybody say, let my people go. Okay? You guys ready? First and foremost, I'm going to say this emphatically. Don't lie. Don't run out of here and tell people you're making all this money and you haven't made it yet because you think you're going to coerce them to make a decision and get involved. You setting yourself up for ultimate failure. Because I don't know your lie. Steve Carter don't know your lie. None of us know your lie. And we could be randomly just talking to somebody on your behalf. And you could be an executive trainer. And I may say, hey, listen, such and such an executive trainer, I'm so proud of them, just got promoted, fired up, man, they're in a position now to start earning income, and now you're like, oh, no, this is the guy I said that was, I was killing it. This is the guy I was saying that I was making $10,000 a month. No, you need to change that, man, or he ain't gonna get in. I don't know your lie, and I'm not gonna start lying on your behalf. Does it make sense? The industry already has a stigma, and we've got to be, pioneers behind sharing what's real. What's wrong with saying I'm in a position to earn more income than I was last month? Is that a true statement? I'm in a position in the next 12 months to potentially double my current income. That's a true statement. To lie and tell people you retired and you just got started because you think that's going to excite them, integrity, once it's gone, you can never get it back. Don't push or convince them. Don't push or convince them. What do I mean when I say push and convince? Oh, I'm not ready. Oh, yeah, you are. Oh, I ain't got the money. Yeah, you do. Well, I won't have it. I'll pay for you. You just pushed them into something they didn't want to do. Now, I don't know. If you pay for somebody to get in, you better stop. Because it doesn't help them. It handicaps them long term. Don't put them down or insult them. Some people, they're learning. I'm unashamed to say that I wasn't focused on residual income or leverage. I was focused on linear income. But if Steve would have kind of put me down and said, dude, man, how stupid are you? Man, come on, man. You don't want to be financially free? They didn't teach you that in school? Man, I got so offended. And some of you all, you get new information and you make people feel horrible because they're just uninformed. Don't put them down or insult them. Sometimes it takes a person a little longer to kind of connect the dots. Does that make sense? Okay? And don't chase them. Don't beg, plead, don't chase. What do I mean when I say chase? How many guys honestly believe technology works? So if you send them 16 text messages, chances are they got them. They just don't want to talk to you. If you send them, voicemails, they got them. Leave them alone. Does it make sense? There's so many other people out here that you could be talking to instead of chasing. I'm not saying not follow up because there's a difference between the two. We're saying don't chase. Let people make up their minds themselves. So we're going to walk through, and I'm going to pass this over to my partner here, but we're going to walk through the 6 things that we believe that you need to understand in network marketing. We won't go through and train on all 6 today because each one of them can take 2 hours to train. But what we're teaching you is this is what's important to build a large distribution network. Who in the room wants to build a large, duplicating distribution network that you can will to generations yet unborn? Okay, so bottom line, everything starts with the peak. And I believe that we got just the best person in the world to kind of walk through that whole process. We got a whole simulated process that we talk about called the baseball diamond. Peak interest. We're going to explain what that means. But everything starts with you learning how to peak interest. And peak interest is not putting a post up on Facebook saying, who wants to make money? Call me. What makes you any different than the billions of other people that are doing the exact same thing? Pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. I put the post up first. Pick me, pick me. There's nothing interesting about that. That's not peaking interest. You got to learn how to relate to people. Then you got to learn how to professionally invite. You just got to. I love the fact that, this thing was wall to wall because you guys got it right this weekend. You guys got it right. Keep building on that. Then the presentation. When you stand up, your check goes up. You got to start really facing that. Follow up. That's important. Closing the deal. Sometimes people confuse closing the deal with being up in people's face trying to get them to fill out the application. No, there's an art and a science to closing the deal. We're going to talk about that. Last but not least, a lot of times people clap and they're so excited about people getting started, but here's what you got to realize. If you get nothing else today, this is where the game begins. This is where everything starts, closing the deal and launching the person the correct way so that they can have success. The more success we help people have, you guys realize the more excited people are going to be? But if you just get excited because a person got into the system, then you're not going to really have an army of people that want to build this thing because they're not having success. And nobody's going to do nothing too long without it working. Does it make sense? So, hey Steve, I think you're the best at doing this, man. I know. I've been around this thing long enough to know when to defer. Because not often do you get, a double platinum senior vice president, in your marketplace who's got 17 years of experience and doing some phenomenal things. Not often do you get a chance to hear from him in person. So I'm going to pass the mic to you, and then when you want me to kind of jump back in, you want to switch? Okay. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
All right, guys. Did Mondez break this thing down to the nth degree? Let me tell you guys what I see when I'm sitting in this seat and I'm listening. Everything in this business lives and dies on leadership. And you got somebody, and I'm just using Mondez as an example, a real life, in your face example. And when you get a leader, that leader is invaluable to the overall cause. Because once somebody gets this, and they're not afraid to take the step out in front and saying, this is how we do what we do, and unafraid to tell everybody else, this is how we do it. That's leadership. And when we can start to duplicate more and more, not just at the position of platinum, but I'm talking about at the mindset of a platinum. Some of you could be here for the first time, and you've already decided that you're a platinum SVP. The difference is, will your actions back up your mindset? And the difference is this the long-term approach that you're going to use moving forward? Because see, once you make a change, going back is not an option when you make the decision. You heard the expression, draw that line in the what? Sand. In the what, Springfield? Sand. In the sand. I heard another expression I want you to get. 100% of the people that make up their mind to do something, they do it. I first heard that and kind of questioned how authentic or accurate that was. I wasn't understanding the whole statement. Once I listened to it again, I realized that's very true. 100% of the people that make up their mind to do something, they do it. The caveat, the difference is that make up their mind. Some of you are in here today, you're excited today, but you haven't made up your mind. You haven't crossed over yet. I don't mean that to sound like a cult. No, this is just a movement. But you haven't made up your mind that your old ways of the past are now the past. So you got to realize everything you've done, everything you've thought has gotten you to where you are today. See, and if you were where you need to be in order to get the things you want, you'd already have them. You get that? So it's okay to embrace change. It's okay to say, you know what? These gentlemen are out front leading and looking for soldiers to follow. And it's okay to say, I'm one of them. Guess what? We did the same thing. See, we stand here before you as leaders and mentors to all of you, but understand we had our mentors. We had people that were out in front leading us. We sat in the seats for the first time. We said to ourselves, is this real? We said, man, I want to do something like this. Man, that person reminds me of me. If he could do it or she could do it, I could do it. We're forever thankful that we have somebody that was our example. We just weren't afraid to step up. We weren't afraid to go from where we were to where we wanted to be. People ask us all the time, Steve, man, you got to be excited. You made millions of dollars. You're successful. You've transformed a lot of people's lives. You must be so fired up about where you are today. And I always correct them. I was excited about today 5 years ago. I'm excited now about 5 years from today. I clearly see what 2018 is looking like. That's going to be fun. But it's the clear vision of where we're going. All we're looking to do, identify people. Identify people. Because once we identify somebody that's not afraid, then we know that that person, once they make that shift, that paradigm, they're in it to win it. And we've made it so simple now. I mean, some of the, and I don't mean this as a disrespect for the ones that went before us, but we've made it so simple with this. We kind of had to figure a lot of this stuff out. We're giving you guys the blueprint. We're giving you guys the step-by-step instructions, so to speak, on how to get this thing done. So there is no thinking. System, what did Mondez, I don't know if y'all looked at the title of system earlier. Let me go back. Look at this. Read the top. What does system stand for? Save yourself stress, time, energy, and what? That's what system is. You don't have to try to get in this thing and reinvent the wheel and try to figure out, Mondez, I got a better idea. Steve, man, I think you should do it this way. Look, if you come up with something you think will work, quietly do it. And when you get the results that surpass what we're doing, bring it to us. We'll embrace that. That's just evolve, change. We'll accept that. If you show us that what you're doing is outdoing what we're doing, shoot, let's put it in the slides. In the meantime, let's roll with this. Let's teach you guys what works. So I'm going to step over here so I can look at them as I teach you guys this. Now, here's the deal. All right. Yeah, let's go through this. Was this the first one, Des? Yeah. All right. First of all, I'm going to black this out for a second. I'm going to put it back up. Let me first say this, because I want you to first hear me. Fair? Yeah, you can go, we'll tell you where you can go and download everything. Fair enough? You'll be able to get it. You ain't got to take pictures of it. You can have it. Because why? We want to look, and for anybody that's not a part of our team, don't take it offensively that we branded the slides and all that. That's not, look, we're the Diamond Network. We're Live Life by Design Phase 1. We're all of that. However, we are all the Five Links family. It's just that we're non-negotiable on what we want to build. What we want to build is long-term sustainable leadership. We want long-term sustainable incomes. And we're non-negotiable on how we build. We're not building stuff, and I'm not saying that as opposed to anybody in particular. I'm just saying I see in network marketing as a whole, people chase titles, people are slapping stuff together, building their teams on toothpicks, and wondering why it's imploding. And it gives a negative stigma to the game. Because then you've got people that supposedly hit a title, they don't tell the whole truth, that now they're no longer at that position, not making the money. That hurts the business. Because somebody says, well, I heard you were an SVP, or I heard you were this and that. If you're not making money, that kills what the reality of what we're doing. We want you building a real business. So, let me talk to you about the whole psychology of why we implemented this baseball diamond. Because whether you're a sports fan or not, you know what we understand? You get the concept of baseball, which is very simple. Get around the bases and score. The team that has the most people that go around the bases and score at the end of the game, they win. Yes or yes? Yes. Look, you could be a football, basketball fan, but you still understand that. Get around the bases, score, you get a run. The team with the most runs at the end of the game wins the game. What's the difference in what we're doing? Nothing. Here's why. Winning in our business is getting people around the bases, and them scoring, guess what it means? Them saying to you, I'm ready. I'm in. that means you scored. Anytime you can get somebody to look in your eyes and say, I'm in. What do I do next? Sign me up. I'm ready. Let's roll. You scored. They scored. They're ready. They're part of the team. And guess what? When you get more people scoring, who's winning? You. So guess what? This is what we want to teach you guys. This is how powerful this is. Now, there are different people that you're going to approach. Now get this. We want to teach the fact that, oh, let me go back one. Yeah. These are the different types of people that you're going to approach. You've got what's called the affluent. You've got your average associate. And you've got your admirers. Those are the three categories that people are going to fall into. What are the affluent people that you look up to? People that are already successful. Thank God that the network marketing industry has evolved now to where it's attracting professionals. At one point back in the day, years ago, this was known to be attractive to somebody that needed to make money. Was broke, down and out, kind of needed something. Supplemental income. Now, you've got people making six-figure incomes that see the value in this because the way they make their money and the way that their money is continued to be made requires ongoing work. I gave you guys the example of the brain surgeon versus us. Look, there's no comparison. I know a whole lot of doctors that want to be platinum SVP. I don't know one platinum trying to be a doctor. That's not a disrespect. It's just that what we have is bigger. I love waking up and knowing that thousands of dollars are coming in every day. Whether I decide we want to work or whether we want to go to the pool, hang out with the kids, or do whatever, money still coming. And I don't know anybody that doesn't want that lifestyle. If you were to really ask somebody, hey, would you be okay with money just hitting your bank account based on stuff you did in the past? And every time you do it again, you're adding to that. I don't know anybody that's not there from the neck up that wouldn't say, yeah, I'm interested in that. That makes common sense. So when knowing that, look, there are only three types of people that you're going to approach. There's nobody out here on the outside of these doors that you know and even that you don't know that don't fall into one of these three categories. They're either the affluent to you, or they're your average associate, or they're your admirers. Those are the only three categories. Now, affluent means these are people you recognize as successful. They're making money, they're doing well, sphere of influence. They've got that power. They can make a phone call, make stuff happen. They're the make it happen kind of people. Then you've got the average associate. That doesn't mean they're an average person. No, I mean the people that you spend the majority of your time around. These are your average associates, meaning your family, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors, people that are just, you see them all the time and you associate with them, and that's just, you spend the most time around them. Those are your average associates. Then you've got a category of people that look up to you. Maybe your younger cousin, or your younger relatives, or your students, or just people that look up and want to be like you. Now guess what, family? You won't approach those three categories the same way. You're not going to approach your younger cousin the same way you would as a CEO. Or the same way you would your cousin, or your brother, or your neighbor, your best friend. There are different things you're going to do to approach them, and we've kept it so simple, everybody can do this. Now, let's talk about the affluent. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to sell them. Why? If they're making more money, more influential, more successful, don't come to them trying to sell them on why they need to do 5 minutes. They already recognize that they possibly are more successful than you. So how would it even dynamically work trying to tell them why they need to do this? They probably in the back of their mind thinking, I could teach you a few things. Because the built-in dynamics is that they're more successful. That's why you look at them as an affluent. So you can't sell them. You just need to compliment their success. Get their opinion. Let them know you recognize how well they've done. And from afar, they've been a mentor. You've watched them as an example. And that you'd love to get their opinion on what you stumbled across. Because you're working with some people that remind you of them. And then you give them some professional material that takes you out of it. Don't let an affluent person judge you. Because the dynamics is already that you're not on their level yet. We all have people that are on a higher level than all of us. I'm not going to go to somebody that's worth $20 million or $50 million and try to tell them why they need to do 5 links. I've made millions, but I'm not liquid 30 million yet. Working on it. But I would know better than to go to Donald Trump and try to say why he needs to be an IMR. I'm not going to sell him on that. But if I've got a relationship with somebody that's affluent, for me to go to that person and say, listen, I need your opinion on something. Look, I've stumbled across something that I believe this thing is big. However, I've always respected you as a business person. I've always admired your success. I've watched you from afar. Whether you know it or not, you've become a mentor to me. I want to get your opinion because I would love for you to take a look at something. Because if you give that stamp of approval, I'm going to know what I see is real. I like it regardless, but I'd love to get your opinion. Now notice what I threw in there. I don't want that person to feel like their decision is going to influence me. I'm dropping the seed up front. I think this thing is huge. This is big. However, I respect your opinion. I'd love to leave some material and maybe in another week or so follow up with you after you've read through it. Let me know what your thoughts are. But see, what you can do is you can drop little things, and this isn't on the slide, but you can drop little things like, look, we've tapped into the energy deregulation. Or look, there's a way we can actually earn passive income on an unlimited amount of people, becoming fully leveraged on countless amounts of people that are paying residual bills. Or look, we've partnered with a $100 million privately held company that one day looks to go public. Things that they recognize that language. Now, here, listen, let me say this very humbly. You want to learn those types of things to say? One of my DVDs covers all of that. It's not in the slide. But I've got a DVD out there today called $1 Million Mouthpiece. And it teaches you what to say to who. If it's your executive, your senior partner, your boss, your CEO, your doctor, your lawyer, and you wonder what to say, don't mess it up going saying something you don't know what to say yet. Listen to the DVD. Push 2 things. Play and then what? Rewind. And then do what? Play, rewind. Play, rewind. Until you know exactly what to say. Every DVD that I've got out there, there's a CD in the same case. Why? Because although I want you to be able to watch a training live and everything, see me on stage with slides and all that, even when you're in your car, I want you to be able to pop it in and listen to it. Same content, but it's on audio. Why? Turn your car into a university on wheels. Make that your university. When you're going from home to work. Listen to something that's going to build you. So, my opinion, get that. Am I trying to sell you DVDs? No. That's not the point. It's just that I can't follow you guys all home and say, oh, you about to talk to your attorney? Let me show you exactly what to say. I wish I could. But we've got something that you can push play if you really want it. Thank God the company endorses the Advisory Council Platinums to make material for you guys. They trust that what we're teaching works because we built it. So I encourage you, get it if you don't have it. If you plan on peaking some influential people. Now, second category. Everybody good on that, right? I'm not going into a whole training on that right now. That's on the DVD. Second category is, this is your average associate. Now get this, family. These are the people you spend the most time around. So you better master this one. This is the one, this is the peak you're going to probably do all the time, like 90% of the time. These are your family, your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors, people that know you, they love you, they respect you, or they don't, but that you know. Right? So guess what? This process right here is exactly how you do it. Now, I'm going to touch on this, and we'll go through the slides as well, but everything I like to teach in threes, because we've all been taught it's as easy as 1, 2, what? 3. So guess what? Let's just say, give me your name again, my brother. Hassan. Let's just say that Hassan, you and I are either brothers, we're either cousins, we're either best friends, or we're co-workers. Just pick one. Which one? All the above. I love that. All right. Let's just say this is my best friend on the planet. Grew up together. We're tight. Now watch this. Watch this. In 17 years of me doing this, I've never had anybody answer this question wrong. Hassan's not going to get it wrong either. Why? It's designed where we know what the answer's going to be. When we ask it, no pressure, you ain't going to get it wrong. In 17 years, nobody's ever gotten this wrong. But look, guess what? All I'm going to do is approach my best friend or my coworker or my cousin or my brother. I'm going to approach him with these 3 things. And I'm going to say to Hassan, I'm going to say, look, man, hey, Hassan, I found a way we're going to make some money. I need to get you the information. However, I just need 30 seconds of your undivided attention. Hassan, when can I get 30 seconds of your undivided attention? Now that's the first time I've had that one. But that's even sooner. He said yesterday. Now, listen, let me say this, family. Everybody says right now. Right now. Yesterday means even before right now. You got what I'm saying? I've never had anyone ever say, maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. Or let me get back to you on that. Never. Why? Because when you say all I need is 30 seconds, they're going to give that to you when? Right now. So guess what I said? 3 things. I said, Hassan, I found a way to make some what? Money. I said, and I need to get you the what? And I need 30 seconds. When can I get it? And he said what? Yesterday. Yesterday, right. Exactly. So guess what? This is the approach to anybody that you know. Why? You know them. I'm not saying, hey, have you heard of 5 links? I'm not saying, hey, have you heard of voice over IP? I'm not saying, do you have 249? I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm saying I found a way, which is a universal language, a way to make some money. I need to get you the information because you let that person know you got the access to the information. I need 30 seconds of your time. When can I get it? They say now. Now, that's the approach for that. Now, I'm going to get to the process. But the 3rd category of people are the people that look up to you. These are your students, your little cousins, your little brother, your little sister, your child. They look up to you because of who you are. That's a simple one. Tell them what to do. Look, I'm going to show you how we're going to make some money. I need you at this meeting on such and such a day. Period. You don't have to have a script for them. Why? Because it's a built-in edification that they have for you. You tell them it's something good, they believe it. You don't have to pique their interest or sell them. They already respect what you say. So just say, look, I need you here at my house on such and such a day, such and such a time. We're having a meeting talking about making money. You need to be there. Everybody get that? Yes. So now, watch this. So now, we talk about the average associate, which are the people you spend the most time around. Here's the deal. This is average associate in Myers. Just get them there, let them know what's going on. Now, here's the thing. Using the peak tools, peak call for an average associate at Myers, see the appendix, and we'll show you that at the end of the slide. Here's the thing. Going around those bases, you want to absolutely find out, okay, determine whether or not they're interested. So when I say to Hassan, look, I found a way to make some money. I need to get you the information. When can I get 30 seconds? He said, yesterday. Guess what I would say? I would say 3 words. Again, in 3s. My 3 words would say, write this down. That's all I'm going to say. Now, if you're new, you can say that. Hey, Steve, I found a way for us to make some money. I need to get you the information. When can I get 30 seconds of your undivided attention? Right now, write this down. That's all you're going to tell me to do. And then I'm going to give you a pre-recorded message. Why? I'm new. I'm not about to try to explain it. I'd rather you listen to Mondez. I'd rather you listen to Steve Carter. I'd rather you listen to Jason Gook. I'd rather you listen to Dwayne Johnson. Why? These guys are making money. I don't want to explain this. All I said to Hassan was, hey man, I found a way. Meaning I'm new too. Found a way we're going to make some money. I need to get you the information. I need 30 seconds of your time. I'll give it to you now. Great. Write this down. Cool. Or pull your cell phone out. Either one. Put this number in there. I'll give you guys my number. I'll give you all the numbers on the back end. 888-488-2584. How often is it available? 24/7. Does it ever say different things? No. Same message every time. What's the message? Here's what we do. Here's how it works. Get back to the person that put you on here and let them know if you're interested in this. I send them right back to you. They can't leave me a message. They can't leave me their phone number. It doesn't even, the system won't even allow that. It cuts off at the end without them being able to leave a message. I don't have their phone number. My purpose for doing that is to give you guys the information to be able to use. So you get somebody else to listen to it. Now, from here. Okay, blah, 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 website. Okay, let's go around the base. Say it again. Boom. There we go. Let's stay on that slide. Here we go. Now, so guess what, guys? That pre-recorded message. The only time I would go straight to a three-way with my senior partner or the professional magazine would be if I was peaking an affluent. I'm peaking my doctor. I'm peaking my attorney. I'm getting their opinion. Hey, look, I found something. I think it's huge. I'm gonna make some money in this. I respect you. I've always admired you. Da 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 da. All the language I was talking about. I'd like to get you to take a look at what I'm doing, just to give me your opinion. I'd like a second set of eyes to check out what I think is gold. And you give them like the diamond pack that Five Links has, very professional material. Or you put them on the phone with your platinum. Got that? Everybody else, you're going to say 3 words. Write this down. You put them on first base. First base is giving them the pre-recorded message. If you gave the pre-recorded message, you've done your job. They're on first. Man or woman on first. Now you're in a position to score. Why? You got somebody on first base. So guess what? After they listen to that, let's say Hassan gets back to me. It takes 2 minutes to listen to the message. And I would encourage him to listen to it now. He said he's interested yesterday. Okay, great. Well then, dial that number. It's a 2-minute message. It's going to explain to you what we're doing. That is all I'm saying. Did I go into who Five Links is and all that? No. I said I found a way to make some money. Need to get you the information. Write this down. 30 seconds, write this down. He wrote it down, call it. That's a 2-minute. Now he may say, what is this? It's a 2-minute message that explains how we're going to make money. Notice how I'm speaking it into existence. It explains what we're getting ready to do. We're getting ready to get paid. Listen to that. And if you like what you hear, get back to me. Now, if he pulls out his phone right there, I'm going to stand there and let him listen to it. If he says, hey, man, I got to get back to my desk. My boss is, okay, cool. After you listen to it, let me know. Now, let me point something out about that approach, which is the antithesis of how most network marketers do business. Mondez talked about this. This approach, you are not chasing them, nor do they feel it. They're not running from you. I said, Hassan, dial this number, and if you like what you hear, get back to me. You know what I did? I put it there, get back to me. So what would a leader do if I hadn't heard from Hassan in 24 hours? Follow up. Guess what I'm going to say? Hey, man, did you dial the number? If for any reason he didn't, I'm going to say, bro, it's 2 minutes, man. I thought you were interested yesterday. So my point is, these aren't scripts you have to learn. It's just talking to your family or your friend or your coworker. Hey, it's 2 minutes, bro. Call that number. If you're interested in making money, I'm ready to get this thing done. And you know I love you, the reason I'm bringing it to you. However, listen to it, man. Matter of fact, call it now. You guys got that? All I want is for him to listen. So once he hears it, if he likes what he heard, I'm already thinking about moving him to what base? Second base. Simple. Now, look at the options you have for second base. Home meeting, which is we also call private business reception or PBR. That means you're going to get everybody in your family and friends to come by your house to see what you're doing. Another option, website. Why? They're available 24 hours as long as they got internet connection. What else? DVD. Some of us have DVDs where you can just push play and allow somebody to see the whole presentation. Or webinar. Every Monday night I do webinars. Tuesday night I know Stan and Sharice do a webinar. And then we got weekly meetings. All of that are choices. Here's the thing I want everybody to get. From first to second base, this should happen in a 24-hour time frame. I'm not going to say to Hassan, hey man, take a listen to write this down, and he writes the number down, and then after he says, I like what I see, and let's say it's on a Tuesday, I'm like, okay, this Saturday we're doing a meeting. No. Because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, why am I losing 4 days? If he listens to that pre-recorded, within 24 hours, I want him in front of a whole presentation. Do I have to stand and present it myself? No. I want to get him to go look at something on his time. Did I say, Hassan, you got to look at the website at 8 o'clock? No. Hey, man, let's just say that he comes. Let me give you the scenario. Hassan hits me back. Steve, I'll listen to that 2-minute message. That's interesting. Where do I get more information? Or, Steve, how does that work? Or, you know what, man? I like that, man. Clarify how this works. Anything positive like that. All I'm going to say is, I knew you'd like what you heard. That's why I'm excited. We're going to get paid, man. Listen, whenever you get home tonight, here's what I need you to do, bro. Be in front of your computer, and after the kids are down, or family's down, give uninterrupted 45 minutes, and I want you to watch the whole presentation. See, that was just a piece of it. I want you to really understand how this whole model works. Because we can kill it. So take a look at it. And then what am I going to say? Write this down. Instead of a phone number, I'm giving them a website. I'm going to give you all the websites as we go. So hang on, I'm going to give them to you. They're in the slides. Well, we get that. Now, so if he watches that, again, did I say you got to watch it at 7:30? You got to watch it at 10? No. All I did was say, watch it whenever you can dedicate 45 minutes of uninterrupted time. How long did that take me to talk to Hassan? 1 minute to have him write down the phone number, 1 minute to have him write down the website, and we're already on second base. I spent a whopping 2 minutes with him. And he's already on second base. Halfway about to score. 2 minutes. Unlike, let me back you guys up for a second. Get this, Springfield, and I want you to hear me. So many people are out here doing this old school network marketing. Does it work? Yeah. But does it take longer? Yes. Here's old school network marketing. Blue collar. Blue collar would be me to say to Hassan, hey man, look, I know we're at work. I found a way we can make some money. What you doing after work? Let's meet over at this restaurant. I want to talk to you about something. And guess what? We got to figure out where we're going. We got to both get in our cars after work. We got to drive to the location. We got to wait for our table. Then we're going to sit down. We're ordering our food, flipping up laptops. I'm going through the whole thing. By the time I get done with all of that, 2-3 hours have gone by. That's just to find out if he's interested. But yet, people feel like they're doing their business when they do that. Now, how many of those could I get in per day? Maybe one. Especially if we work from 9 to 5. We meet after work, man. It's 8:30, 9 o'clock. Hell, we're tired. Time to go home. I'm not meeting with anybody else tonight. It's time to go home. But I got one possible that day. Versus spend 2 minutes, not 3 hours. See, the analogy I always use is this. I got a lot of people. Look, we're in Springfield, right? Let's say you want to go from Springfield to Boston. Now, you don't have to fly from Springfield to Boston, right? All right, so let's say Springfield to Philly. To what, DC? Springfield to DC. Now, if I said to Hassan, man, we got to go to DC tomorrow. I need you to roll with me. I got choices on transportation, right? Now, do you think Hassan would be excited if I said, hey, man, let's walk? He's looking at me like, what? Take us 3 months to get there, right? I can say, you know what, man, that's a stupid idea. You're right, bro. Let's ride our bikes. That's going to take us a couple weeks, too. Or I could say, you know what, Hassan? Let's drive. Getting better. But I could say, bro, let's fly. Let's fly private. He's in. Now, here's the thing. Destination was the same. Time frame it took to get there was what was different. I'm teaching you guys how to fly private in network marketing. Some of you are still walking. You'll get there. I don't care how fast you are. You could be Usain Bolt. Those of you that don't know who he is, he's the fastest runner on the planet. When he finishes, does like that, from Jamaica, boy can run, right? But I guess I tell you this though, fast as he is, if I want to race Usain Bolt from Springfield, Mass. to DC, and I'm telling him to lace up, and I say, go, and he's running, I could book my flight in 2 weeks and I'm still going to get there first. 2 weeks have gone by. Let me go and get my flight. Now, I'm on there. I'm asleep on the plane. I get there. He's still not there, even if he's running as fast as he can. So it's not a matter of whether or not you'll get there. It's how quickly do you want to get there. And we teach you how to get there quickly, not slapping it together. So guess what? We get him on second base. Hassan's on second base now. That means he went home that night and he watched the full presentation. Did I have to explain it? No. Did I have to sit next to him during those 45 minutes? No. It took me 1 minute to have him write down a website. It took me 1 minute to get him on first base writing down a phone number. So I've taken a whopping 2 minutes, and he's already watched a full presentation. Now, guess what happens at this point? He already knows it's $249 to get in. He already knows we're selling essential services that people use every day. He already knows you can earn residual income. You already know you need to build a team to become leverage. You make more money off of what everybody's doing. And I'm new and didn't explain any of that. But once he watches that, he knows whether or not he's interested. So guess what third base is? Getting him on the phone with my senior partner. That's third base. And our language in third base is different from what I hear 90% of the three-way calls. How they go. They're still doing old school. They're still walking to DC. Old school three-way call. I get on the phone and recap everything with a sign that he already knows. Man, you could really make residual income on bills that people pay every day. You know all that. You saw the presentation. Why am I going through all of that again? My language is totally different. Let's just say that anyone, what's your name, sir? Mike. Mike gets me on the phone with Hassan. Mike does this process textbook. Mike piques Hassan's interest because they work together. Mike says, Hassan, I found a way to make some what? Money. I need to get you the what? Hassan, I need how long? Hassan says, when? Yesterday. Mike says 3 words. Write this down. He gives him one of the pre-recorded messages. I don't care which one it is. Doesn't have to be Steve Carter's. Doesn't have to be Mondez, Hollomon. Doesn't have to be Jason Good. Pick whichever one you think Hassan would gravitate to. Which means you need to have listened to all of them. So you put him on whichever one you think will motivate him, right? Now when he hears it, it took 1 minute for Mike to have Hassan write the number down. Hassan listens to it, gets back to him. Hey man, I'm interested. How does that work? We can make money every time somebody's paying a bill. How does that work? I knew you liked what you heard. And I knew we would make this happen together. Here's what I need you to do, Hassan. Tonight, when you get home, the family's down, you got 45 minutes of uninterrupted time. I want you to watch this full presentation that's going to explain everything. So here's what I need you to do. Write this down. And he gives him the website. Hassan says, cool, got it. All right, cool. Let's talk tomorrow. Again, did he have to say, watch it at 8? No, just get back to me tomorrow. I don't care. It could be 3 in the morning. It's not a concern of when he watches it. He took 60 seconds to do that. So Hassan's got the website. It's on him now. Next day, Hassan comes up to Mike at work. Mike, I watched that presentation. Man, this thing is big. Man, I'm interested. Guess what Mike says? I knew you would be. I'm going to get you on the phone with my senior partner who's making this thing happen. This is who's going to mentor and teach us how to get it done. I got a good relationship with him. For some reason, he's taken an interest in me, took me under his wing. This brother's made millions, or this brother's made hundreds of thousands. Whatever their reality is, right? Don't lie about anything. If you're blessed to be working with a platinum, or you could say, has made hundreds of thousands, in many cases, millions of dollars. So guess what? Now, let's say Mike is working with, I'm working with Mike. I'm the upline senior partner that you're going to get on the phone with Hassan. Forget that old school 3-way. Not doing the whole recap with Hassan, residual on. You already know all of that. Here's what my language will be with Hassan. I say, Hassan, listen, man, it's a pleasure. First of all, I would send Hassan a text based on Mike telling me. All Mike has to do is send me a text. If I'm the upline, you don't have to call me. I might be in a meeting. Send me a text. Like right now, I guarantee you I got some text messages on my phone. And I guarantee you those text messages are third base text messages. And you might be saying, what do you mean? Third base means there's somebody on my text right now waiting on me to contact them because someone else in the team got them on first and second already. So I know there's somebody waiting on me to hear from me, and they've watched the whole presentation right now. So guess what? I'm in a meeting. I'm not answering my phone right now. But if a text comes through, as soon as I'm done, if Mondez is back up in here, I can go see who it is. And I can reach out to Hassan sitting right there during the training. Guess what my text is going to say? Hey, Hassan, this is Steve Carter contacting you on behalf of Mike. I understand that you're interested in what we're doing with 5 links. Let me know if and when you've got a couple minutes to chat sometime today, and we'll match schedules to talk. Look forward to it. Send. So when Hassan gets that text, guess what? He's going to respond. Did I just try to call Hassan? No, he don't know my number, so what's probably going to happen? Voicemail. How many of you see numbers you don't recognize and you send it straight to voicemail? All of us. Nothing personal, but I'm not in his phone. So if I text him, this is Steve Carter calling you on behalf of Mike. I understand you're interested in what we're doing. Let me know if you've got a couple minutes to chat today. We'll match schedules. Send. He responds, I'm free at 5 o'clock. That's when I get off work. Excellent. So when I call Hassan, now that I know 5 o'clock he's interested, now that I know he knows my number because I identified myself via text, he'll probably answer the phone. And I'll call, hey Hassan, listen man, it's a pleasure to speak with you. Not going to keep you long at all. But as I mentioned in the text, I understand that you're interested in what we're doing with 5 links. Is that correct? What's he going to say? Yes. Well, listen, man, before we even get into the logistics of 5 links, I want to point a couple things out to you, Hassan, which is why I think we're creating so many success stories with our system. Is because I want you to think about how much time Mike spent with you to get you to this point where we're on the phone. And I'll answer that question for you. Maybe 2 minutes. All he did, Hassan, was had you listen to a phone number, you liked it, and then he had you go to a website, you liked it. And guess what? 2 minutes of his time. Now, it took a little bit of time out of your schedule because you have to watch the presentation for 45 minutes and all that good stuff. But I'm only pointing that out specifically for a reason, Hassan, is because we're just meeting. I don't know if you've got a ridiculously hectic schedule or you've got a real flexible schedule. But either way, I wanted to point out to you firsthand that if you can find 2 minutes throughout the day, you can get people interested in this information, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone and have the same professional dialogue that I'm having with you. So now, with that being said, Hassan, What'd you like best about what you saw in that video? That's my three-way call. Period. Now let me tell you the whole psychology with that. All I'm doing is planting in my brother's mind up front, not manipulating at all. Planting the reality seed that, hey man, Mike took 2 minutes to do this. So I don't care how busy you are, respectfully saying, you could do this. Find a minute here, a minute there. How many more people can you get to the point where they know what 5 Links is about if it only takes you 2 minutes to do it? See, if I'm telling Hassan to meet me at the restaurant, we're waiting on our table, then I gotta pay. If I'm the professional that I should be, I'm gonna pay for your meal if I'm inviting you out. So I'm spending money, time, and everything else just to find out if he's interested. That's walking to DC. I'd rather spend 2 minutes with Hassan, 2 minutes with this gentleman, 2 minutes with this young lady, 2 minutes with this gentleman, this young lady, all in the same day. And I spent a whopping 12 minutes. Not 3 hours at a restaurant and spending money. I want to get the point across, is that so many people are doing it that way, and in their mind, they're working their 5 Links business. And they wonder why they're still an ET. No disrespect to ETs. Great position. But it's not a great position if you've been in for a year. You get that? Now hopefully that tactfully stepped on some toes, because if you're an ET and you've been in longer than 3 months, that's too long at that position. I love you the same, but let's fix it together. That's why we spend the time doing this. That's why we're passionate teaching this system. So now look, once I do the 3-way and I'm on the line with that person, my whole goal at that point is if Hassan says, hey, I like the fact that I can get my time back. I like the fact that it's residual income. I don't know what his hot button is. That's why I asked, hey, with that being said, what did you like about the video? I want to know what is attractive to you. What has you on the phone with me? He might just say, man, I'm sick of working 2 jobs. So guess what I would immediately know? Time is your issue. So guess what I'm going to then talk more about? Getting your time back. If I know he says, look, man, right now I got kids I'm trying to put through school and money is tight right now, guess what I'm going to focus on? Listen, man, unlimited amounts of money are available here. I'm going to talk about whatever is the answer to your prayer. I only know that when I ask. I'm not going to just assume it's all about money. I'm not going to just assume it's about time. I need to find out from your personal situation what is your motivation. And then we answer the prayer together. So if I know his why, we can run after this thing together. Everybody getting this? Yes. So then we can close. Even though Mike's brand new, I don't expect Mike to close. He's new. He may not have made a dime yet. He might have gotten in yesterday. How much could he teach Hassan? 24 hours worth of information he got. That's it. So instead, now Hassan is realizing that even though Mike is new, it has no bearing on what you learn. Why? The system is what works. Once the people work the system. So guess what, you guys? No, let me say this. Then we've automated it even more. Let's say Hassan says, you know what? I'm ready. Because I'm, as the expert, going to say, well, listen, man, we've had a great conversation. I know money's the main motivating factor. We need to get you this quick start bonus. Let's get you $3,000 in your first 30 days. I'm sure that'll help. But the big picture's on the back end where all this money hitting your account every month, We talk about that stuff because that's his why. And then once we find out that he's ready, he says, look, Steve, I'm ready, man. Excellent. We got an automated email that we send to our team. I'd send it. All I'm going to do is change the names and put it in send. Walks Hassan through step by step everything to get started. RIN numbers and everything. Including the fact that, hey, it costs $249 to get in. However, we encourage you to be your first customers. Therefore, we hope the credit card you're using has at least $400 because you want to get your platinum. Everything's in the email. Now, would Mike know to do all that? He's new? No. So we just send Hassan an email. He knows the RIN numbers. He knows how to get on Global Links. He knows how to sign up for Platinum Services. All because Mike hit the word send. Pre-written email that we got. I even got snapshots of all the services. Click on this to sign up for Global Links. You want the DTA? It's going to be a check mark like this. It's a picture of the website. All in the email. You guys getting this?
Yes.
Right now, you see how we're able to be first at a lot of things. First platinum. First double. Planning on first diamond. Why? It's not because I'm running faster than everybody all day. No, it's because the system gets us there faster. Now, so here's the thing. The presentation, how we expose prospects. Let me turn around and look at this. How we expose prospects to the business is very important. Ideally, the first presentation should be more of an intimate setting. Notice that I did not get Hassan to just come out to a briefing first. Now, some of you might have been, this is your first exposure. We're going to accept that as the fact that you guys didn't really fully know this system before we got here. No more bringing people out to the briefing, and this is their very first exposure. Why? Because first base is pre-recorded. Now, this could be a second base, but they already heard what it was, so they're coming knowing what they're coming to hear about. You got it? So now, nothing replaces the private business receptions. And Mondez and I are on 100% the same page in regards to the fact that everybody that gets in the business, the first thing we're going to do, even before teaching this baseball diamond, is to have them have a home meeting. First thing we're going to do. And guess what? You don't have to learn and master a script for that. Invite them the same way you would if you wanted to invite them over to see the Game 7 championship, or Super Bowl, or Mayweather fight. You know how to invite people to your house. Tell them, look, I got something going on in my house. I just started a business. I'm exposing it to everybody I know just to share with the people I care about what I'm doing. Be at my house on Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. Don't play around. Be there. I'm counting on you because I'm inviting all the people I care about. That's it. What is it? Look, dial this number.
And for everybody out there on the table, I did a whole training on the art of an effective private business reception. I'm telling you, it's audio, it's DVD, has the slides, it walks you through everything in step, detail, and gives you the logic and the concept behind why you need to incorporate it so that duplication starts to happen in your organization.
And that's the first thing you need to do, is the PBR. So guess what? If you're here for the first time, don't walk past the table without getting this DVD. Why? Because you need to know how to set your PBR up the best. Right now, you're just hearing it's a home meeting. But you need to know, what should you have there? How do you invite all of those things? What do you set the temperature gauge on? What should you have present for the people that show up? Everything is trained. See, we've become students, and now we're blessed to be the teachers. But all this stuff that we're teaching you, we studied from the other. We didn't just figure this out on our own, all of it. I mean, we got taught this stuff. So we said, man, the easiest way is for people to push play and rewind, play and rewind, play and rewind. Because if you get the PBR DVD, you should have an effective PBR. You should know exactly what to do. And that's the first thing you need to do after you've decided that you're in. So guess what? I'm going to run through this and we're going to wrap it up. Fair? Yeah. All right. Order of escalation is super important because you want to take somebody through each of these processes. You got this? So I'm going to turn it over to Mondez and let him walk through all of it.
And we're going to be brief because I know we gotta wrap up before, for the next group to come in. But really quick, I want you guys to laser in because all of this ties into each other, okay? Remember, we were teaching you the system and the psychology behind building a large network marketing organization. How many guys agree it can't be just about you, right? So when we're talking about this ladder of escalating exposure, you guys got to add to your repertoire the ability to start learning how to promote effectively. Now, how many guys know what I mean when I say promote? Who's ever been to a fight or watched a fight or know this guy, Don King? When you agree that he's a master promoter, You may have watched Mike Tyson fight 2 or 3 times, knew he probably was going to lose, but you still paid for Showtime and watched the fight anyway because Don King promoted it. So you guys got to get into your mind that it's not about you trying to motivate someone to get to platinum. Get this. You're just motivating them to get through the ladder of escalating exposures and let the system build your group for you. Did you guys get that? You can't motivate somebody. You can only create the opportunity for them to see the bigger picture and start to rearrange things in their lives to want to do this on a higher level. Make sense? The first exposure is what Steve just talked about. I love the fact that we're utilizing technology. How many guys agree? We got to grow. We got to change. We can't have an antiquated, I can't tell you, approach about our business, right? What is, can't tell you. You can't do that anymore. You can't say that with the internet that's out here. What are you all doing? Well, I can't tell you about it. Don't do that. When you do the first step in going through the baseball diamond, you got him to a private business reception, a webinar, website. No. See what's happening? He done stepped up to the ladder, yes? Now, how many guys agree that right here, we got a weekly meeting? Not in this location, but in Springfield. If you don't know where the weekly meeting is, find out and start utilizing it as a tool because that gets your person to the next step in the ladder to get them a larger exposure than the previous one that they saw.
So that you guys know any and everything happening locally here in Springfield. So you guys may be able to text Team Springfield to 55469. So anytime there's a meeting or a conference call or something pertaining to this local market, no matter who's on whose team, that's irrelevant. You guys need to be in the loop.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to talk to James about that and have him set that up so that now you know when the next meetings are.
Okay. So then, guess what happens, team? Here's what you guys got to understand. You can't wait for the big event to start promoting for the big event. It has to be a culmination of a lot of little efforts leading up to the big event. Does that make sense? So the weekly meeting, I'm telling you, if we do this the right way and you guys commit and be coachable, remember to stand on your chair? Be coachable, you're going to start promoting for the weekly meeting. The weekly meeting is going to start to grow, and by the next time we do a local training, you're going to need a place bigger than this. Now, I'm not saying this through theory because I've done this now in multiple markets. Right now in Raleigh, their events are held at North Carolina State University, a room that seats over 1,000. In Hampton, Virginia, a place that people said it wouldn't work, we were at the convention center, almost 800 people. It can happen here, but you guys got to buy into it, okay? Local training. Why should you promote for a local training? Because all the things that happen and all the new people that you got involved, don't you try to train them. They're not going to listen to you. Get them in a room where they can be trained by people that have what they want. It's nothing against you, but they just won't listen to you. And it's okay. They didn't listen to me. I'm a platinum senior vice president working with a new group of people, and I still follow this because the closer they are, the more they're deaf to what you got to say. So I let the system work for me. Does that make sense? Now the regional conference is coming up. Then notice, look at the time period. This typically happens once a month. This happens every 3 months. So you got time to plan and promote, yes? None of this should sneak up on you. So, regional conference, I didn't know that was happening tomorrow. Listen, if you're plugged in, you know the regional conference is coming up. And the last but not least, the biggest one, the international conference. And I'm telling you guys, focus on the system and not being personally connected with the emotions of people, and you get them through this ladder. Once you get them to a national conference, all bets are off. Some people are still trying to motivate people that have been to a national conference. My objective is to get you through the ladder. The more people I can get through the ladder, somebody's hair gonna catch on fire.
It sorts itself. It sorts itself. If somebody's been to a national conference and they still want to quit the business, we love them the same, but let them go. What are we gonna do bigger than what they've seen at a convention? Folks got Bentleys and stuff like that, and we're supposed to call them and do a cheerleader dance? It's like, if somebody has been to a convention, that's to me my litmus test. They've been to a convention and they still want to start entertaining quitting. I love them the same, but I allow them
here's the visual piece, team, because you got to see it visual. You guys ready? How many guys agree webinars, this kind of typically how it is going to feel? You behind your own computer, and you're looking at the presentation. One-to-one, yes? Private business reception, it may look a little something like this. A few people kind of getting around talking about the information, yes? And keep in mind, we're going to give you the slides. Don't even worry about it. I want you guys to focus in on the information. We're going to give you the slides. Okay? So here's the thing. Now you promote for the next event. So what I want you all to understand is that whether or not a person wants to do the business after they see the PBR or after they see the webinar, in your mind, regardless if they get in or not, you should be doing what? Promoting for the next what? So if a person says, I'm ready, I'm signing the application, great, welcome to the team. Man, you thought you saw it this time, and look, wait till you get to the weekly meeting, or wait till you get to the next ladder, or wait till you whatever. Don't just get excited because you thought the end goal was them to sign up. Go back to the system. What's the end goal? So how many guys agree you got a little more work to do? Right? So here's the thing, after they see the webinar, I'm excited. I want to do it. Here's my application. You're promoting to the next what? Event, which should be the weekly meeting in your market. You guys have a weekly meeting here. That weekly meeting should be busting at the seams after this weekend.
And you know you can do it because look how many people you got out to this.
Absolutely.
The only difference was you promoted because you knew we were coming. And the thing is, you need to know, you need to be able to promote the same way that James G is going to be doing the presentation. The same unconscious promotion, because you all said Mondez, Hollomon, and Steve Carter are coming. You knew what the value was for that. But if you give the same edification to James G, it doesn't have to be the same position, but the same edification and promotion. Don King will promote some boxer we've never heard of, just like he'll promote a Mike Tyson.
And sell out.
Who's he talking about? We all look at the TV like, who is this no name? I want to see it.
Right.
And I'm not saying that about James. I'm saying that how it's all about how you promote.
Promote. Everybody say promote. You got to learn how to promote and get excited about promoting. Every single event has to be the same energy, not just one on Saturday. The reason why we've been able to grow is because I get this. I understand this. When a new person gets started in my group, I'm selling a weekly meeting as if they can't miss it because the person you're going to hear from, you never going to hear it like that again, which is true. I never saw one person do the exact same presentation, the exact same way, with the exact same words. So I'm not lying. So you can't miss it. It's the greatest show on earth. This person is just doing phenomenal things. You can't miss her or him. Now, here's the thing. Here's the visual aspect. See the weekly meeting? That's one of the weekly meetings down south. Now, I know this can happen because we've duplicated it multiple times. When a person walks into a room like this after coming to a private business reception, I don't care what you say, their mind is expanded. They're going to say, whoa, oh, this is big. Then they may say, oh, I know, oh, I know her. Oh, I know him. Oh, he's doing it too. Oh, man, let me pay attention because I didn't think it was like this. Is this making sense? This is the system working. So you can't be individual talking about, I'm going to get this done by myself. Nobody has done it that way. The weekly meeting is going to fuel the excitement in the marketplace, not your words. Are you guys getting this? People talk too much. Let the system work. I promote this like it's my last name. Now, here's the thing. When you get to the local training, two things are happening. Everybody that's been coming to the weekly meeting that have had new partners, now they're coming to get trained. And they're learning. I never trained my entire group on my way to executive director, national director, senior vice president. I let the system do the training for me. And I just funnel people into the system. Is this making sense? Some people want to do things too prematurely. Let the system build your business. You'll get your shot. Now, regional conference. Now, that's ridiculous. And I think sometimes you just got to see it in order to believe it. That right there, I don't know where this is. Where is this? This is North Carolina. Raleigh. Huge. And a person will walk up in here. Listen, look how small the heads look now. See, the heads are a little bigger. Now they're smaller. You can't walk in there and say, oh, man, this don't work. You walking in there saying, man, I need to see if I can get a seat closer to the front so I don't miss something. Are you seeing how the system works? Now, guess what happens after that? the national conference. Now, you can't even see the heads in here. And when you get there, you're probably going to have to go all the way to the front to find Steve Carter and Lamont, myself, because this is the reality that it's huge. And when a person gets here, team, you've done your job. Are you guys getting this? As an upline, as a leader, you've done your job. You cannot motivate someone to get to platinum. You've got to master the system and let the system work for you so you can get there.
And you make whatever arrangements you can, guys. I mean, I remember when we first started going to the national conventions when we weren't making a bunch of money when we first got in the industry. But we would make accommodations because we knew others didn't have a lot of money. We would rent vans, and like even when my team was a team of 6, it's like, look, I'll rent the van, let's all chip in, let's get to Philly, or let's get to wherever the national was. We were never spending other people's money and acting like, well, yeah, it's $109 to register, flights are kind of high, I'll bring the information back. Don't ever do that. You've got to look at the end result is getting them there. Right. What they do, look what happened when he came. I suggested to Mondez, he wasn't even in yet, a guest. And I said, I'll tell you what, come to the national. Come out next in Philly to see the big picture. And when he saw the big picture, that was the day that he said he made a decision he was in. And when you get in and you make a decision to do something, 100% of the people that make up their mind to do something, they do it.
Absolutely. So now what? How many guys have had guests that came out today? The power is in the follow-up. Okay? We have the event. People have left. Listen, every event should have a sign-in sheet. We've got one. Every event that you do moving forward, you need a sign-in sheet. That's the power. That's the money. That's where the magic happens because, you know, everybody doesn't make the decision at the same time to get started. So following up, you know, is very important. If you're working with someone, I encourage each and every one of you all to find out who your upline national director, senior vice president is, and make a phone call to them and introduce yourself and get intimately involved with who your lineage is because that's a part of the system. I know a lot of times you want to, you know, if you're not in Mr. Carter's downline and you get a chance to befriend them and, you know, you feel like the desire is to work directly with them, but that you got to recognize that the system that's going to leverage you the most is your upline lineage. You can learn from anybody, but the system that's going to leverage and is going to benefit you the most is really getting in communication with your upline so that y'all can play team. Does it make sense? I didn't have to bug Steve Carter every single day, but I kept him informed and I worked with him and we leveraged each other. So as I kind of built the market and brought him in, they knew who he was because the story was being told for a couple months. Does it make sense? And he knew who I was because I was working in the marketplace. So there's a relationship that needs to take place with you all and your upline leaders so that they can actually, follow up and start asking the question for you on your behalf. Now here's the thing.
Say one thing there. And also, if your upline leader is not up to what you feel is par, you need to become the leader.
Quick.
I hear so many people say, well, I can't ever catch my upline. Well, my upline doesn't return my calls. Well, my upline doesn't have the verbiage that you have, Steve. They're not doing this, or they don't understand the system. Hey, look, every one of us signed an independent representative agreement. And if your upline is not open to this simple concept, or they're not up to par, their verbiage isn't up to speed, or they don't have the leadership or professionalism that you desire. So you can't control where you fell in your lineage.
Or just not available.
But you can control who is the leader. And that needs to be you. And I'll say this real quickly. When I first got in the industry, my sponsor was one of my best friends. Got in a day before me and quit the business a week later. My upline, I did not know until I became what was equivalent to an SVP. I did not know that. So when people come to me about my upline, I don't buy those excuses because I never made them. So you don't have to have an upline that's going to do all of this stuff if you decide to become your own. Watch the people that you do admire. Watch us from afar and implement what you are learning coming to these meetings. The fact that you're here, you learn in our system. We want you to have it. We want you to implement it. Why? We have a big picture of 5 Links overall. 5 Links becomes a multi-billion-dollar company. The platinum revenue pool going to have 10, 15 million in it.
Right.
And guess who wins? Everybody gets the plaque.
Absolutely. So, I mean, excellent points, Steve, because, I mean, you can't predict, what's going to happen with your upline. I mean, I love my upline. He's like a brother to me. But when I got started, he had family things he had to deal with. And I just decided to be the person that I wanted, to set the example for my group. And as a result, the benefits are immense.
And when you're a leader, think about it. We love his sponsor. He's a senior vice president, doing well in the business, but like he said, had other priorities and so forth. When I recognized that Mondez was the one, I went below and started working directly with him. I wasn't going to say, well, hey, so-and-so, aren't you working with this guy? I see this guy's a leader. No. It's like you see leadership. Everybody's on the team. I got Henry's number today. Why? Stand up, Henry. Look, not to put you on the spot, but the same thing I was feeling when I met Gary McConnell. I said to Henry, I need your number. Why? Because we're going to work more closely together. Why? Because I believe you can impact thousands.
Awesome. So let's steamroll through the rest of these and we're done. But that one is, you just gotta kind of study. We're gonna give you where this at. You gotta know where you are on the ladder. Listen, realistically, if you and this is important, I'll wrap this up real quick. This is important. This is where people make the mistake. If a person has been to a local training and they've been through the ladder, and say they walk away from the business, life happens or whatever, and they come back, you don't want to then bring them back down to a PBR. Immediately, you need to promote for the thing that they haven't attended. Does it make sense? I've got people right now that have disappeared, came back a year later, that didn't go to a national conference, that as soon as they called me, I said, great, you need to get your ticket. You need to be in Anaheim. And 3 of them came out to Anaheim, and now 2 of them have gotten promoted to executive director. Who knew? Does it make sense? But what would have happened if I brought them all the way back down to something that they were already familiar with? There again, we're motivating. So you got to know where you are in the ladder. So let's go through the close real quick, because I think this is important for you all if we're going to play team. We saw a lot of this today, and I need you guys to really zone in on the close. When we do what we do and the presentation is over and applications are going out, and this is for the new people because you're going to have new people joining your team too, the close is what you say. But it doesn't have to be a lot. Does that make sense? When Mr. Carter does what he does, and do you see an opportunity and people are saying, yes, I'm ready, I watch more people talk their guests out of doing the business after the presentation than I care to mention. Instead of saying simple things like, let's get you started. I like it, man, I'm going to do it. Let's get you started. How simple is that? You don't need to say anything else. I see people saying, yeah, man, we're going to get this Bentley. We're going to kill it. We're going to get this thing done. I need I need your list. I need everything you got. Listen, I need all your people to get, and then they're like, whoa. Wait a minute. Let's get you started. Are you ready to get started? These are simple things that we can say, yes. We need you all to play team because we can't do the presentation, jump off the stage, run to your guests, and then try to get them started. Does that make sense?
We do the best we can because here's the thing, but you have to close the deal. I look at this in sports. We're in the Basketball Hall of Fame. The presentation that Mondez and I did today, in my opinion, was giving you an alley-oop. We put the ball right above the rim, where all you got to do is close the deal. Above the ball. I mean, that's why when I ask people to stand up if they see an opportunity, and then as I catch them in mid-stride, I say, come on down. Because now they stood up. It's like, uh-oh, now I got to come down. Come on down. And they come down here. Let me tell you the psychology of why I do that. To let you know whether or not your person's interested. If your guest that came out didn't move, well, then you got a little more closing to do. But if they get up here and come up here and they're shaking hands and high-fiving, well, then you know they're ready to roll.
And you don't have to ask them again. I'm telling you. Let me see this form. This is what we teach them. This is not going to be the only time we do this. Let me show you how to get someone started. After Mr. Carter does what he does, everybody has the application. When they come back to you and you sit down with them, the next thing you should say is one of these things. Let's get you started. How do you want your application to fill out? Hey, listen, you want your put your last name right here. Go ahead. Yeah, now, do it now. Write your last name right there. Can you see, use your pen? Yeah, go ahead. Write your last name. Hang on. Yeah, go ahead. Last name and then first name. Write your last name. There you go. And then, so you see what else it needs, right? So your social, you're going to need that, your city. Finish all that for me. Okay? All right, I'm going to be right back with you when you're done finishing that one. And then I'm going to show you how to finish this right here too, okay? You see what I'm doing? I'm done talking about the presentation. I'm the leader. People want to know what to do, but you all don't tell them what to do. She's sitting right here. I love her. Keep writing. And we're going to talk when you're done. I want to make sure it's all filled out right, okay? Now, no need to reiterate what Steve Carter said. Did you hear that part when he said about, too broke to be skeptical? No, you don't need to do all that. We need you all to do business. Does that make sense? Now, after they app up, and we're going to talk about what you're going to do after you finish that. After they app up, guess what? First step is what? We need you all to be champions and ambassadors for that. There's no way in the world that we can connect with 200-300 people, 400 or 500 people in a month's time to make sure that this happens. But understand, team, this is what funds us being able to travel and do things and teach people across the country when the company releases money through the field. So we need you all to do this. Do what? Get them qualified. And then start promoting the training system, because Steve Carter has a Monday night training that he does every single Monday. And I'm telling you, I get on those calls and I listen and I get notes and I take notes and things of that nature. And some of my team members are on that. And you're going to get this. I'm going to show you where you can download it. But my point is, they need to be now enrolled into the system of learning the business. My partner Dwayne Johnson has his. My upline support, you'll have that. And then we have ours. And it's not that we're, on different, teams. It's just that our groups are so large that we have to be intimate and communicate, because we're closely working with certain pockets of our organization. Does that make sense? And so we've got a Sunday launch call, and all this thing does is walk you through how to get started. So if you get somebody started on Saturday and you really study this, what should you be promoting? The launch call. Get them on the launch call. You can still go through it, but it's different when they hear that 500-600 people on the launch call as well. On Wednesday, we've got more of a business builder call, which is something similar to what Steve does. So between both of us, you got opportunities. I'm not saying you got to become a conference call fanatic, but if you know, if you know what you got in terms of your resources, who can agree that you should never be confused? Sunday, Wednesday. Sunday, Wednesday. If you miss it, play back. So no excuses. You can be third shift and still build your business. No excuses. You can go to bed if you're tired at 7 o'clock. But get up at 7 and listen to it. No excuses. And then, we got the ways you can opt into, the portals. But everybody write this website down. Downlinesupport.com. Click on basic training and you can download this entire presentation. And pretty soon we'll have it recorded so you can listen to it. We got some audio recordings, but for right now, go download. You can download it. And learn it. Does it make sense? We don't want anybody confused about how to build a network marketing organization. Sure, you got to learn about 5LINK services and stuff like that, and they got 5LINK University for that and so many PowerPoint slides. But to truly build a network marketing business, team, you're going to have to learn this. You're going to have to become intimate with this. You're going to have to be unwavering. You're going to have to be focused and not changing for the flavor of the month. This is what builds businesses. We also do a Sunday night, one Sunday a night, the entire Diamond Network comes together. And I'm telling you, that's so big, we can't even do it on one conference call bridge. I think we have to merge like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different conference call bridges together to bring everybody together. But it's just so that you guys have the heartbeat of what it is that we're looking to do. And I think this is what you were going to go over or put up for everybody. But when we talk about the different different 3-minute opportunity calls, like Steve said, use whichever one that you feel like resonates. In my opinion, this is I mean, this is the one I used. I mean, they had to force me to do one. This was in April. I was like, I don't need to do one. I'm going to use yours. No, Mondez, you got to do one. No, I don't do one. Why? Yours is working fine. I don't need to change anything. Well, they need to hear from you. Why? It works. But now I got mine. Yeah, now I have mine, and it just kind of connects to a different kind of person. Real estate, maybe, you know, professional background, multiple degrees, whatever. But my point is, first things first, you don't have to write all this down. Do this, team. Write this website down. Downline support. And go download it. It's free. Did you guys get that? It's free. And obviously we got products and stuff that kind of go into detail with different things that you'll have to learn out of those 6 things. But how many guys agree that you can start with the basics? Are you guys excited? Are you guys fired up? Hey, real quickly before you guys go, where's the weekly meeting, Lamont?